Alright, what's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be making a spaceship or a sci-fi vehicle. It's going to be in space too, so I'm calling it a spaceship. And as you can see, I have some reference images already in our workspace here. Now, how about that new Lamborghini? Now, myself, I'm a big Lamborghini fan. I just like cars in general, but I think Lamborghini has been like my favorite vehicle brand or whatever for a long time now. So, in deciding to make a spaceship, I wanted to base it off of the new Lamborghini. I can't even say it properly, I don't think. Ruvielto? Something like that. Y'all can roast me for that one for sure. Aventador is a lot easier to say, I'm not gonna lie. But this is the successor to the Aventador. Although this is not what this video is about, y'all can go do your own research. I just wanted to get some base reference. I'm not exactly trying to model a Lamborghini and then just put like wings on it, but I do like the shape of them. So that's kind of what I was going for with the reference images. I think in the end it kind of looked a little bit more like a McLaren, but I don't want to spoil too much on that anyways. Started with the cube, added some loop cuts, and just got started to making the shape. I mean, something that sparked this idea for me to start with the Lamborghini, besides the fact that I like them, is my friend and I were debating about the most recent Batman movie. Now, I really enjoyed it. The one with the Riddler. But the only thing that actually bothered me, and it's such like a small pick, but I don't know, I felt like it really bothered me, was I did not like the Batmobile in that movie. It was like it reminded me of like a trophy truck, which are kind of cool, but I mean, it's kind of unfair to compare it to the Tumbler or like some of the more futuristic Batmobiles. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure, people feel the opposite. Alright, anyways, as I continue to ramble about making this spaceship, let me tell you a little bit about the purpose of why I want to make this. Now, I like to make a lot of space scenes and stuff like that, and I'm working on a little bit of a project right now where I'm trying to make, how do I explain this? I don't know, maybe like a longer animation. I decided to record all the little parts that I'm making for it, so this one is obviously the spaceship, and in the next couple days or weeks, or when I get these videos out, they will be revealing a little bit more about like the whole kind of project. I think it's kind of obvious at this point. There's a little bit of intergalactic travel going on there, but like I mentioned, I didn't want to just make a Lamborghini and put like wings on it. So I was thinking about like sci-fi vehicles. I've actually been playing, get this, shout out to all my OG gamers out here, I've been playing the original Halo on the original Xbox. It's been like a full circle moment for me. I know this is like completely not relating to the video that's going on right now, but I've been playing that, so I've been getting like reference of Halo. I used to play Destiny a lot, so I've been looking at some reference images there. I love Star Wars, so the Starfighters and all that kind of stuff, references there, and also just looking up like sci-fi vehicles and that sort of thing. Though I did draw, and I'll put up a picture in here, kind of a little bit of how I wanted it to look in rough format. I was actually watching a Star Wars Clone Wars episode, and there was a ship that flew by, and it kind of, I don't want to say it looked like a Lamborghini, but it kind of fit the shape that I wanted it, which obviously is the Lamborghini, with wings on it. So that was it. I was like, wow, that kind of looks like the shape I'm going. It doesn't exactly look like a Lamborghini, obviously, but like it has that like sleek look, kind of a sharp pointy nose, and then it's got wings on it. So that was it. It was one of the Mandalore episodes, I believe. Yeah. So at this point is kind of where I started going into spaceship mode. I ended up doing a few iterations of this, but I think an important thing to see, or an important tip, I guess, and it actually really came in handy for this project, was to save like a base. So at some point in the next few seconds, I end up making a duplicate of this because I was pretty happy with like the base general kind of idea that I had going on. I knew the rest was going to be kind of smaller detail to try to get like that final crisp look that I was looking for. Now, with making the duplicates, it was very important for this as well because I wasn't sure if I wanted to leave the ship looking like it had panels on it, which would require a little bit more of like sharper edges in that sort of ordeal, whereas I also wanted, there's like a specific sci-fi kind of look that I like for like futuristic vehicles and stuff, where You don't see it in Star Wars too often, but they're just like really clean, slick, kind of simple looking, but also complex at the same time. I know that doesn't really make sense, but y'all can't really see what's in my head, so I can't. I'm giving you best what I can do here in Blender here, so of what's in my head. So I wasn't sure if I just wanted that slick kind of round edged kind of look, or kind of that pointy panel look. So that's where duplicating like the base mesh, where I knew that I was going to be happy with that general shape, came in handy. So I quickly went through like 3 iterations. I wasn't sure like how pointy I wanted to make the front, if I wanted like vents in the front, how I wanted kind of like headlights, not necessarily headlights, but just like lights in general on the ship, where I wanted to place them, how I wanted them to look. But it's just a fun process, just messing around with just different shapes and ideas. And I think the nice thing was not putting a limit on myself, like, alright, I started on this one, like this has to be the ship. Like, nah, like it was nice like being like, you know what, like, I'm saying like so much. It was nice being able to look at my work, say I see what I was trying to go with here, but this isn't quite what I want, and revert back to that base mesh, attempt a similar look but in a different way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me, so we're rocking with it. I knew at this point that I also wanted like a 4-wing setup, 2 on each side, like a smaller wing kind of in the front, and then maybe like the big engine kind of wing in the back. Something that I really wanted to highlight while I was making this isn't the best analogy because it's in space, but like road presence. Like, I'll never forget as a kid like driving on the freeway, and I saw this beautiful white and black Lamborghini Aventador SV, and the road presence in that on that sucker was insane. So kind of like that road presence look is very important that I wanted to capture for this. I've also been making these like crystals sort of things, and you'll see those as the next videos come out, and also at the end of this one. With, I don't think they look as crystally in the spaceship, and you'll see what I mean, because I didn't want them to look the same as like the actual crystals that I've been making. But I wanted like the power. I didn't want to just put like a big rocket with some like flames on the back. I wanted it to be like some weird like powered by these rock things that you can actually like see on the ship, which is like probably like totally flawed if you think about it, but it doesn't matter because it kind of looks sick in my opinion. So I was also thinking about like how this thing would fly, and golly, please do not get me started on that. This is not engineering 101 or anything like that, obviously, but I was just thinking about like cool ways, like random things that would make it fly. So I did end up putting some like vents and stuff eventually into our ship. Now tell me this gorgeous beast does not look like, or wait, what? Tell me this gorgeous beast does not, oh yeah, it does not look like a McLaren and a shark. Oh golly. Yeah, I was a little bummed out that I had misrecorded that middle part, but this thing looks sick. Can you imagine pulling up in like a futuristic city with this? You're balling in this thing. You are an absolute baller in this thing. So next up is always my favorite part, which is adding colors and textures to our model. Now, I really liked the white pearlescent like matte cap that I put on. I also wanted to test like what a matte black version of this ship would look like, but by far undefeated look was the like pearlescent kind of white sci-fi look. But you guys can let me know in the comments below if you guys like the matte black version, or if there's any other color combinations. I personally can't see this being in any other color combinations, like a bright orange in this or something like that. Probably wouldn't do it for me. But at this point I was pretty sure that this was going to be pretty close to the final look. I did mess around and add, or I did play around and try to add a little bit more detail to some things, but I think it was important to keep this pretty slick. And this look, I was just very happy with this look. I kept spinning it around and looking for places to add different detail, and I would try those different things that came to mind, and I just kept going back to like this simpler, clean look. The last little part that we added to our spaceship was indeed those crystals that I had mentioned earlier. Initially, I added just a normal emission texture to those areas, but it wasn't doing it for me. The crystal shader that I made, I can adjust it and add, like, I don't know, a little bit more detail and stuff into the light and make it a little bit foggy, and, like, I don't know, I can just play with it a little bit more. So that's why I brought that in. And then the next part was deciding what color lights I wanted. I messed around with the lights plenty of different times. I ended up choosing something that I think fits right. Once I settled on the crystals and the colors that I chose for that, I wanted to add some vents into our ship just to break up the white and the like glowing crystals just a little bit. I didn't want to add too many in, but I couldn't find like a nice texture that I wanted. So I tried looking up like car filters, but it just like didn't look right and like that sort of thing. Eventually I came across a pattern and was able to get them to fit into the spots that I wanted them to. They're not perfect. The UV unwrap isn't exactly perfect, but I scaled them up and they're small enough to where if it's just flying by, you're not going to notice it. But with those final details, that pretty much wraps up our ship. And if you guys continue to check out some of my videos and my future videos, you'll see where this ship is going to adventure to. I'll even throw up a little bit of a clip right here. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please drop that like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.